I'm just here walking Penny out in the woods by the road in the middle of the city. I'm in Edmonton, and seeing as I have requested for myself that I put out a video every day because I think that's what's necessary in order to gain any kind of audience online, and as I've been convinced that that's the best way forward as a small-time entrepreneur. You know, if I don't use these free techniques at my disposal, I'm really kind of an asshole. So here I am making YouTube videos and posting crap all over social media, even though it makes me very uncomfortable, and I feel very narcissistic, and I feel I don't know, it doesn't matter how I feel about it. I want to talk about the dilemma. One of the many dilemmas in my life has been choosing anything and then committing and then following through. I've had so many opportunities, so many options in my life, just like I think almost anyone else has who's of my generation, because of the abundance of wealth that's about, and technology, the internet, all sorts of things like that, and culture, society. Everything makes it so that you can do almost anything. So we were raised by being told that we could become whatever we wanted and do anything we wanted to do. And that's true, but they left out the other part, at least from my experience. The society, parents, teachers, whatever, left out the other part where you have to at some point actually commit and make a considerable effort to get anywhere in life. And that'll mean sacrificing other options. And that's been the scariest thing for me, feeling that if I want to go down any avenue, I'm going to cut off links to 20 different potential futures. All right, it's like I envision it like a series of webs of matrices, and all I can see is down individual threads, and I see that the matrix that leads to. But of course then I see all these matrices all around me, all these different webs that I could possibly go to, but I don't see where those webs lead to. So I become kind of indecisive because I go, well, I see that potential future, I see that potential future, but I don't know which one I prefer, and I don't know what options those will open up. But of course you'll never know unless you take a dive. And that's been one of the biggest struggles in my life. I've just sort of been hanging around on the edge. It's like as if I'm at a buffet with a billion different options of dishes, and all I do is run around and smell the aromas of all these different beautiful looking dishes, but I never actually take the time to commit to 3 or 4 different dishes that I'm going to fill up my plate with and go sit down and chew on for a while. I think that's an issue that plagues lots of millennials. That's why I think it's like 30% of millennials live at home, which is nuts, but makes sense. It's hard to pick anything. It's hard to pick a partner. It's hard to even pick whether or not you want to have a monogamous lifestyle, because you have so many, not just options of partners, but options of different types of relationships you can get into. It's nuts. We live in such a time of abundance, so it's so great. We have it so easy. Everything is fantastic in that regard, and yet it poses a bunch of new problems that humans have never really had to deal with to as great an extent as my generation has to deal with. And the problem is overwhelming abundance and an endless bevy of options to choose from. And then having been raised without any sort of formal appreciation for discipline, sacrifice, hard work, and all that sort of stuff, all the things that are going to aid one in achieving whatever one wants to achieve. So, you know, we're all clear that we can do whatever it is we want to do, but then when things don't come easy to us, we often just go like, I'll change to another thing. I'll go sniff something else out for a while. Anyway, that's sort of my issue. And I think that's been one of my things with the videos. I've filmed lots and I haven't posted anything. I think one of the reasons is that all I can see right now is the next series of web, the next web, and the next series of links down the road, of possibilities. And what I see with the YouTube videos, the next step is posting something and having only my friends and family, and just a handful of them, watch the videos. And that's really, really awkward. I prefer if none of them saw anything, but that's sort of the next eventuality. So that's holding me back, even though that's a really silly fear. It's ridiculous. All I want is to skip all the steps and just sort of get to the point where I have 100,000 people watching my videos, and then have 10% of them buy my coffee or something, and then run a thriving, successful coffee roasting and delivery business. Anyway, that's my spiel. I had a lot more to say on the subject, and so I'm sure I'll do another video just like this one, and hopefully it'll be more condensed and less full of pauses, but also richer and interesting material.